Today on the channel, let's talk about it with Taka Michinoku KWK Kayfabe Heroes 1 of 200 Variant A and Variant B.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another KWK Kayfabe Heroes unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we're back at it with Taka Michinoku 1 of 200 Variant A and Variant B. But for all your KWK toy needs, there's a lot of places now. So hit up any of these different retailers, as there's a lot of places to pick these up from wherever you are in the world. So you got to get them. You got to get some of these. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of the KWK figures. They stole my heart and never let go with Minotaur. Let's see how Taka does for us, though. But of course, Taka Michinoku, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And Taka Michinoku, a guy that's been very underserved in the action figure community. We got a figure once upon a time from Jakks in the Bone Crunchers Slammers line. Nothing really since, I don't think so, at least over in America, that is. But would love to see an elite style figure of Taka one of these days. He stole our heart with a lot of those guys in ECW and then later over into, of course, WWE, part of the light heavyweight division, and always enjoyed Taka Michinoku. So very cool to get a retro style figure of him. But let's dive into it. And I guess let's start with Variant A first. How about 1 of 200 edition, of course, and these are always a little bit more limited. We know how that goes, but Taka, he's got a very cool robe on here. Love to see that. You got the KWK logo, 1 of 200, red card for the Variant A, of course, glamour shot, autograph, looking pretty good, looking very Hasbro-esque in the card art as well. On the back of the package here, of course, you get a little bit of cross-sell action down there. You get a little bit of a blurb. You get all those title victories from him. A lot going on. Let's read it. Let's see what's going on. Taka, 5'8", 201 pounds. Born October 26, 1973 from Morioka, Japan. Morioka. Career highlights. Got a lot of different title wins, of course, over the years. Very cool packaging design as usual. Special thanks to Inside the Rope magazine, Yoshitatsu Kyle Peterson. Yes, got my name on the back over here. Like to see that, of course. Very, very cool. Then the cross-sell down here below as well. We've unboxed a lot of these on the channel, so check out any of the ones you might have missed. Part of Series 2, ages 18 and up. Now, my Taka is numbered on his foot, number 12 of 200. So how about that there? Always difficult to unbox them, but we got to do it. We got to do it for science. If I don't unbox it, who's going to do it? So going to knock this one out. And I got to say, so far, coming off pretty clean off the card. I do like that when the bubble comes off clean, see you later off the screen, goodbye, because I do save the card art here, and I like it when it comes off clean. A lot of the retros are on there so tight, you rip off all the paper. Hate that, but I do like that one. Came off clean, see you later, goodbye. But now we got Taka out of the package here, and I got to tell you, Taka is extra shiny. Man, oh man, he is definitely dumbed down in the shiny department with the robe, and I guess let's start with the robe first. Let's do that. Big, soft, good robe over the top, of course. I can't interpret what this says on the jacket. I'm sure somebody in the comments could chime in and tell me what is on the jacket here. But it looks very cool, nice embroidery, like a Western shirt. And I know a thing or two about a Western shirt. Looking very good there. Nice white robe throughout. I really do like the looks of that. But we're going to pull this robe off. Now, we don't get a lot of soft goods in our retro figures. But we have, going back to The Undertaker, for example, of course, once upon a time from Hasbro. But looking good right there. But man, Taka out of the packaging here. Very wild how glossy this one is. Now, I like the glossiness in my retro figures, that's for sure. This one may be a hair glossy. You almost got to get, and I am by no means a customizer. Don't do this at home, but there's a flat, clear spray you can put on stuff. You almost need to do that on here, as he is way too shiny in the head, especially in the head department, and the shininess goes into the hair as well. But that being said, I still do like the looks of it here. Now, I don't know if I could tell you it's Taka, though, if somebody handed me just the head. And I did have La Resistance over here, so I do quite the different. I mean, you would think these are totally different toy lines over here between these two, with the high gloss on this one and basically no gloss on there. I think there's got to be a perfect middle road between the two. Now, the Manitar PN News, those were spot on, I do think. This one a little farther this way, this one a little farther this way. I need to bring it into the middle a little bit, if you ask me there. But the Taka still is kind of cool. Now, I hate the jumpers. I hated the Hasbro jumpers as a kid. Never liked a jumper figure. That being said, if anybody was ever going to be a jumper, it's Taka Michinoku. You got to think if the Hasbros were still around and they were making Taka figures, you know he would be a jumper for sure. So it does make sense on here. Now, we don't have any of that jumper articulation. We don't have any of that with this here. But he definitely would be a guy that would be a jumper. There's no doubt in my mind. But of course, no shirt over the top. You do got the wrist tape in white. You got a little hand tape over there as well on the right hand. He's ready to go. He's balling him up, ready to go. Taka does have 2 ears, 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, playing those human hits for those keeping track at home. Got the black tights over the top, or black trunks over the top of the tights. Got a little writing on the side as well, down into the black boots. Little white on it as well there. Articulation, let's see what we got going on. Oh my gosh, those arms scared me a little bit. It's almost like the paint has it held down. You got to kind of break through that paint, which is always a little dangerous, but it does get through, which I'm okay with that. And it's the perfect tightness on these figures. Sometimes the arms a little too loose, sometimes too tight. Once you broke through that paint, that is the perfect amount of tightness on there. So I do appreciate that as well. It's always a fine line, as we do know. Now, waist articulation, there we go. Had to break through the paint once again, but once I got through there, we do get waist articulation. So head, waist, and arms on this Taka. Number 12, as I did say, is he going to fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand using discount code Kyle to save 10%? What do you know? Taka fitting there, ready to go. A very shiny, glossy Taka. Maybe he was wrestling in an outdoor show, and of course that robe, extra hot. Maybe he was glistening with a little bit of sweat. Who knows? But Taka version A, now we turn our attention to Taka version B. A little bit of changes, a little bit of differences here. Version B at the top, 1 of 200. Blue card on this one, looking good. Very uniform style packaging across. I do appreciate that as well. Now, these are, of course, off the bubble. Now, we've had both ways from KWK, as we've had them where you can remove them with the sliding card. I think I prefer the sliding card, but I have to imagine that's more expensive and not necessarily needed, I don't think. But we do got the packaging here, the same thing. But I'm going to get Taka out of the package on this side. Uh-oh. Can I get it? There we go. Okay. All right. Taka coming out clean once again. See you later off the screen. See you later. Goodbye. And now we got Taka. Once again, same robe between both of them. I guess that makes sense. Why wouldn't they be the same robe? Got to get the most out of your molds. We know how that goes as well. 2 Fists of Fury over here for Taka. And it's the same Taka. It's the same thing going on. Just a little bit different. The pants design, just a little bit different. The shoes are blue instead of black. You get the black wrist tape instead of the white wrist tape. But besides that, you got a lot going on. You got the Japanese flag right over there. You don't have it on the first one. So just a little bit of differences, mainly in the shoes, boots, and of course the trunks and tights here. And then the wrist tape. That is the difference between the two. Of course, articulation is going to be identical. And once again, very tight articulation. There we go. Always makes me nervous I'm going to break an arm off. But it does go through very smoothly. Once again, very, very nice. Same thing over there. Same thing on the head. And then the waist, there we go, crack through the waist there. So just got to crack it, be gentle, of course, but very nice, smooth joints, but tight at the same time. I really like how these do end up working out. But same thing here, very, very shiny on this Taka. A double dose of shiny Takas. Number 131 for those keeping track on this Taka over here. I always do appreciate the numbering too. Makes it feel a little bit extra special. Makes it feel like it's yours. Very nice. I need to strike an agreement with KWK that they give me number 33 on all releases. Can I get 33 on all releases? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. But I do like this Taka. The only real complaint I have of this one, normally it would be jumpers, but this jumper makes sense for me, but it's just a little too glossy, a little bit too far on the gloss. Just got to dumb that down a little bit. But besides that, very fun to have a modern day Taka Michinoku figure. Would love to see more of those. Very high quality robes on this as well. So kudos to them. And I did bring up Taka of the past. Well, there you go. You got the Bone Cruncher Slammer version of Taka. An all-timer if there ever was one in the BCA days for sure. But let's bring on more Takas. I would love to see another company get Taka licensed and get some elite style figures as well now that we got the retros. But there it is. Taka Michinoku ×2. What are your guys' thoughts on this one? Worth the pickup for you? Easy pass, hard pass? What do you think about the gloss? Too glossy for you? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to both of my channels. Check out my new podcast every single Tuesday. It is The Kyle Peterson Show, wherever podcasts are found, with video cast on YouTube. Appreciate the support over there. ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. And of course, my book, The Complete Guide to the ECW Original San Francisco Toy Makers, available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and via me if you'd like an autographed edition. And of course, don't forget YouTube channel memberships and Patreon if you want early access to the videos and you want to support the channel. So for KWK, Taka Michinoku, ×2, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?